On this episode of Bus Garage, I'm trying to get this 1960 Falcon Ranchero FalconStein vehicle running and back to life after 20 years. Well, hey guys, as you can see, I've packed way too much stuff for my upcoming trip, but everything is loaded. I've got to hit the road. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of cushion because I've got to pick up a project today. It's really foggy out, but it's warmer, so that's good. On top of that, I've got to meet up with a buddy of mine, and we're going to try to build a car and go on a trip. But the only way that's going to be possible is if I get there a little early, so I can get this other project, maybe even start working on it a little bit. Anyway, I just got to get going. If it seems like I'm in a hurry, it's because I am. So Harvester of Sorrow's loaded up. I hope everything's topped off. I kind of topped it off the other day, but we got to go. So it's time. We just got to get on the road. I'm just stopping off to top off fuel, and I'm going to go ahead and check all my fluids. I know I've got a trickle leak that I didn't fix after picking up the Datsun. Yes, I know I had time and I still didn't fix it. So I got coolant in the back, and we're just gonna limp it on to Dalton's. And once I get to Dalton's pole barn garage, maybe I'll have time to fix it. Probably not. Probably be doing the same thing all the way home. But I'm just a few minutes away from picking up the next project. But I know this thing, once I get under half a tank, it goes from half a tank to a quarter of a tank really quick. And anything under a quarter of a tank, it's a crapshoot whether or not you're going to run out of fuel. So anyway, fuel, check fluids, a few minutes, we're going to see the new project. He almost beat me down here. But here it is. Let's go look at it and see if we can't get it loaded up and out of here. This was parked in 2004 by the current owner, who claims it's a 1960 Ford Falcon Ranchero mounted on a Jeep chassis with a 401 engine. Just for fun, we're going to see if this NOCO air will air these tires up after all this time. The NOCO Air 20, look at that, brought it right out of the dirt. So let's switch and do the rest of them. Number 2 took air. This thing works really well. Thank God those tires are holding air. And for those that weren't paying attention, yeah, we've got all this to go through once we get somewhere to where we can work on it. I'll work on it. So was it blue? Like all blue when you had it?
I think Dad and I hand sprayed it.
Okay.
I think it was just primer gray.
Little paw prints. Well, number 3's taking air. That's gonna be good. Get this one aired up. So if your battery won't quite reach the long cord, you just use your NOCO boost. Run it right to there. And that one's taking air too. So if that one's not leaking, we may just have to go back and top that one off. But yeah. I think we're going to get this thing out of here on aired up tires. There she goes. Look at it go. What a beauty. Crawling and flexing. Once he gets it out of this hole, I'll get lined up and we'll just pull it right on. 20 years right there. Let go of me. Out in the middle of a field for pretty much 20 years. Guys, meet FalconStein. This thing's a 1961 Ford Falcon Ranchero. That's how it's listed. Ford Falcon Ranchero on an off-road 4x4 chassis that we assume is a Jeep. 401, AMC 401 inside, 4-speed, 4-wheel drive. We're gonna see if we can get this thing running and driving. So now I gotta head north, headed to a certain pole barn garage where I'm gonna tear into this thing and help Dalton out with some of his projects and maybe go on a little adventure. So about an hour and a half to go and I'll be there. Okay, I'm about to get on the interstate there, and you know, the tires being that they're deflating, I just want to make sure everything's tied down good. Things will loosen up when the tires deflate, you know. That one ain't going anywhere. Doesn't look like we lost any of the underhood stuff, so that's just great. That one's holding there like a champ. Look at him go. Good job, buddy. That's not going anywhere. That's solid. He's also solid. He's just backup. But this one didn't hold, it didn't keep the air. Obviously you can see where it was leaking around the bead there. And same for this one. Right around the bead. I'll bet I could clean them up and air them up and they'd hold. But if I'm gonna go that far, you know, why don't we just change them out? Now I will say I might be incorrect, but I also will say I don't really know. The guy said he looked up the VIN and it came back what he thought was a 61 Ford Falcon. And they are called Ford Falcon Rancheros, but then the title says 1960 Ford pickup. But it matches. Title. Either way, I've got a title. I've got a car, truck thing. Whether it's a 60, 61, 62, whether it's a Jeep, whether it's a Ford, no one really cares. It's cool. And hopefully it'll be running and driving soon. Oh, FalconStein. I know that may not be the name you guys like, but if it's a Ford Falcon and it's Frankenstein together, I could call it Ranchero Stein, but it just doesn't feel the same. So FalconStein it is. I'm gonna make sure that hood's not gonna come off and then we're gonna hit the interstate. Well, okay guys, hood is secure, straps are rechecked. Got an hour and a half north, time to get going. Beautiful day, by the way. Went through the roundabout, so I'm real close to Pole Barn Garage. Everything's gone smooth, so I really have nothing to complain about at this point. Obviously, we're gonna make it there, get this thing off the trailer and into the pole barn garage, see if we can't make it run and drive. Let's just see if we can get it cleaned out first. You know, I saw that Cybertruck earlier and I just had a Tesla car pass me. Nothing against any of that, but you know, there's just something about a 1960-ish Ford Ranchero turned into a four-wheel drive that just makes all of them electric vehicles pretty much uninteresting. Not knowing if the grass and dirt is soft, looks pretty soft to me, we'll just play it safe and just park right here for a moment. Okay, well, I obviously made it to Pole Barn Garage and we are going to unload FalconStein. We're going to get it off the trailer. I need to air up those two tires that already deflated, and then once we get it off the trailer, we will maybe try to put it in the garage. I think I want to clean all that rat's nest out from under the hood first, but let me get these tires inflated and we'll get it off the trailer. Now, because I'm about to hit the road with Dalton from Pole Barn Garage, I've only got 2 days to try to make this thing run and drive. If I can just get it running and then see if it moves, I'm ahead of the game. I've got tires coming, but I don't know if they're going to be here before we have to leave. So cross your fingers that we get this one done in 2 days. All right, let's try this thing again. No code. Air compressor. We just need enough air to get off of here. That's it. Well, airing this up, we got a bead leak, which is easy to fix, but I also have a leak here on the wheel. You can see it right there. Just a little rust. It went all the way through, apparently. So I'm going to try a little bit of this for now and see if that slows it down. Now, I doubt it'll work because there's air in it pushing out. But we'll try it, see what happens. There's a reason I'm getting new tires. But maybe I need a new wheel too, I don't know. I didn't budget for new wheels. I thought these would be cool, just clean them up and paint them up. So maybe we can JB weld them or regular weld them, I don't know. They're not even wagon wheels is what I thought, but they're a 5-star or a 5-spoke wheel. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll put new tires on it and then we don't have to worry about that. We just got to worry about that rat's nest that I'm trying to avoid right now. Round 2, we're going to try some of this steel sticks. Just let that mix together there. Will it work? No one knows. Put some air to it and see if it holds. Probably not, but we're doing our best. Just trying to inflate my tire here. And there's some kind of rumbling off that direction. I hope it's not a storm. These will hold 45, but we're going to be going off-road, so we might actually have to air them down. But these are also self-airing down tires. If you let them sit just a few minutes, they will air themselves down. It's really great. You don't even have to adjust. Do I hear a tow truck? Oh no! It's a plow truck. I think he's ready to party. Well, so far so good. Maybe. If it doesn't work, we'll fix it tomorrow. We just need it to hold air long enough to get off the trailer. So, this seat's not connected at all.
Is that a problem?
It should be fine.
No, it'll be fine. Just sit in. Oh, God. There you go. All right, I'm going to give you a shove.
Okay, here we go. I'll have you brakes. Or mirrors.
Is it in neutral?
Yeah. Come on, you just used a tractor to push it up here.
Oh, we used a tractor?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Do we need to yank it?
I can yank it. I mean, if it rolls into my truck, I don't really care, so.
That's true. Well, this seat is not connected to anything. That's safe. We've got our cool gauges down here. You can see the remnants. I believe that said Ford. Well, it should say Jeep, shouldn't it? Some kind of, I don't know what that is. Oh, this is wood. Okay, the seat leans too far back for me. Of course, the passenger seats. Oh yeah, it's barely attached too. But oh, here's the button for that. We'll just put that back, it's fine. Got our speakers for our stereo. Knobs that who knows what they do. Brake. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Little mini tack. Look at that little guy. Oh, all right. Well, I guess we need to go backwards with this. You might. Hood pins. See? It's bad.
It's about par for course.
Now he says the air breather's still on it, and that's where we're gonna leave it. So
That's,
have you seen one that bad?
yeah, actually.
I mean, the interior of the 63 was this bad.
I've seen this once on a 60 Pontiac. I did one of the earliest videos on the channel, and it ran fine. So
There's a good chance.
I'll get a shovel. I think the pack rat's still in there. Or?
There's a good possibility.
I mean, it looks organic, right?
I mean, he brought that in here one stick at a time.
True. I mean, as long as there's not like a bunch of seat foam in it or anything, we could totally just toss it.
It'll be fine. I mean, the seats are intact other than dry rotted.
A little like carpet and a little trash bag or something. But
Hey, look, the hoses are good.
there's something. There's an engine in it.
When you said there's something, I thought, uh-oh, is there something looking at you?
Not yet.
Well, the story the guy had about the other one having 3 possums still in it.
Well, I've done my part.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, why do I keep buying vehicles with plumbing parts in them? Yeah. Broke the mud dauber loose.
There you go.
More success. Is that choke? Yep. Well, cool. but we haven't figured out what it is yet.
I'm gonna look it up. I think it's international.
Well, Dalton was pretty sure it was international, not Jeep. And wouldn't you know it, international.
So is it a 304 or 345? I don't think it's a 392 or it'd be red. It's blue.
But either way, if it was more likely a Scout than a Jeep,
That's a good thing.
that's cool. I mean, I thought maybe Jeep would have more abundant, cheaper parts, but I think Scout's pretty cool. So what do you think? Scout better than a Jeep? I think it's pretty cool. We're gonna keep digging to get all the rest of this out, and then we're gonna start doing dumb stuff like putting power to it and see if we can get it to turn over. On the Lego. Well, it's dark now. And rather than do the right thing and finish trying to clean it out when it's light out, since it's only like 6 o'clock at night, we're going to try to just push it on into the shop. And with that, I think I'm going to put it into gear and see if it does anything. Now, I know you can't see anything, so I'm just going to narrate it. But I don't want to not record it in case it works. Oh, you can kind of see me for a second. K5 plow truck is going to raise the plow up and give me a push. Oh, this car's good. That's in first gear. I don't know if it's doing anything. We're just basically spinning on flats. Well, we got the wheels to turn, but that one's going flat now. We knew this one was already flat. And I just don't care because we got new tires coming. But here's what I'll say. It's starting to turn, and I put it in first, and it didn't seem to drag the rear end. I put it in second, it didn't seem to drag the rear end, so it may have turned over. Not that I can see anything because it's dark. Keep coming. JD's officially checking the oil. Is there any?
Yes, there's oil in it. Checking.
Is it horrible?
It's fine.
So, it has engine oil.
Nice and smooth.
Not full of gas. Shouldn't be. He literally said he drove it to where it was parked.
It does smell pretty bad like gas, but...
Oh, you're not convinced?
Oh, yeah. She's good.
Low compression?
No compression.
That's what I meant. Low to no.
But she rolls, no problem.
Perfect. We can make it run then. Now what? We got some juice in the radiator. I think you're just trying too hard. There you go. Anything? I see
Yep.
white.
There's something
There's
in there.
something in... Oh.
It looks terrible.
Is it liquid?
Put it back.
As long as it's liquid, that's all that
I
matters.
don't think it is.
Oh,
You don't
well,
need to... You don't need that.
we don't need cooling.
So what's the game plan here, Buff, now that this is in my garage?
My game plan?
Yeah.
Clean it out
That's it?
and make it run. I'm going to make it run and drive. Up bright and early this morning, just before the sun came up, to bundle up and get ready to head out to Pole Barn Garage. But it is 20 degrees, and with the sun coming up, it doesn't look to be warming up until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So it's going to be a cold morning in the Pole Barn Garage. Thankfully, it's so well insulated and heated that we should stay warm. It's going to be miserable. Once again, Pole Barn Garage sub-freezing temperatures. Why do I do this? Okay, let's go get this Ford Falcon Ranchero Jeep, not really, but it's a Scout, running. I want to take it for a rip. I want to get out and just do donuts around the pole barn garage. So, whoo, cold or not, here we come. Well, you didn't fix yourself while I was gone, so I guess I have to. Well, looking at this morning, it hasn't changed. It's still got a lot of crap on the engine there. A lot of chewed up stuff. Spark plug wires just gone. That's not that big a deal, but I think what I'm gonna do is get the vacuum over here and start sucking some of this out. And then see what's left. Holy crap.
What's that? Oh, tire. No, that's right.
Me and tires, man, I gotta tell you. You convinced me to order new tires on stuff, and I'm just, my bank account sucks.
I wouldn't put new tires on this piece.
I mean, it's not even gonna do anything now. Okay, so even though you have a really intelligent friend who knows what he's talking about that says don't do this, I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just, you know.
It might hurt everything.
No, it's not going to do. The thing is, it's just not going to do anything. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, so, oh, this goes over here. That's why. You go. You go over here. Man, that's tight. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to catch on fire. Let's see if it does so. This is gonna be bad.
Will you crank it?
Did something. No, it didn't.
Clutch safety?
Maybe?
No.
No.
Hey.
Oh, headlights!
Alright.
That's a win.
Well, I'm going to guess the wiring's probably slightly eaten.
I mean, I can see it.
I can tell you from experience that removing a starter on a Scout sucks.
Especially when now there's a Ford on top.
I bet this one's especially good.
I'll do some looking at wiring first. Okay, thankfully, the wires to the starter from the battery and to the ignition are all still hooked up on the starter. We can see that through the fender well. There's the starter. These are the two wires. But we obviously have some chewed up stuff here because apparently that looked like a good late night snack. So I'm going to dig through here and figure out what's what. Yep, we got a brown, we got a red. We got stuff over here that's going places. And it's also chewed up. Awesome. We'll take a look at that pile. And we'll take a look at this one. Once we figure out what's what, let's see if we can get the starter to turn over. Yeah, that's good wire back there. How about you? You gonna be good? I got a thorn in my finger yesterday and I got the thorn out, but with God knows what's in all this, are probably going to die of sepsis. So if you don't hear from me in about a week, you know what happened. Okay, we're going to strip these back, figure out which one's which, and try to make this thing turn over.
You're just gonna start touching things randomly?
Yep, that's what we're going to do.
That's what I would do.
Yep. Where's your pile of wire? No, there's some in the back of my truck.
There's lots of wire around. Here we go.
Oh, random. Random wire. Perfect. You look around, you'll find what you need. So, start with Sparky here. Give us some power. And go.
That's a negative.
Oh, good call.
Okay.
No,
that's
not
not it.
Yep. All right, what's this guy? That's a hose.
Oh.
Look at that. That's some kind of... Wait.
No, that's a wire.
Is it?
I think so. Or it could be an oil pressure line.
I think it looks like an oil pressure line. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything to cut it back, but yeah, it's hollow.
No, that's not it. Cut them at the starter.
Well, that seems like no fun.
So you've got on that starter, you're going to have crank, which is one of them. And you got your battery cable. Then you also have ignition bypass because it's points.
Okay.
So it'll bypass 12 volts straight to the coil while cranking.
And then it'll drop back the other way. Okay.
But there's 2 terminals on the solenoid down there. Unless you could fish the wires up a little closer to here. Those are them, right? Yeah, there are multiple things. What's that one that's going forward?
It comes this way and pops out over here and goes that way. But, okay, so they all go up there.
Yeah, let's not do anything about it, though. That's heat shield.
That's heat shield?
Yeah, it's heat shield for the starter.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a dishcloth, but it's a heat shield.
All right, so we figured out that the wire to turn the starter over, it does come off the starter, but then it goes up here. Dalton made the observation this would be where your forward solenoid would be, so that makes sense there. But then they've tied it into this bundle, and we've got electrical wires, might be a butt connector, probably not, but it might be. And then we got twist tied wires over here. So I'm going to start peeling this and just seeing what I'm looking at. Okay, update. The red tan wire that we thought ran all the way up here doesn't go all the way up here. It would have run up here, but then I couldn't find it when I got here, and I dug down this way and I found a bunch of wires that had wire nuts on them, the twisty kind like you use in your house. They were at least wrapped in electrical tape, so that's okay. And I had a big thing of wire. Let's get that back out. Now in my shop I have a little trigger that I would put on my starter wire and hook to my battery, and that is my trigger to use as a starter. Here at Pole Barn Garage, we die like men. I just got that twisted to that wire and we're going to touch it. I'm going to retwist it to the wire. There were 2 wires going, not counting the battery. So I just twisted everything together. And even though I'm not supplying power to it, it's trying to start. Starter works. Okay. Something's shorting out. Let's just call that good for a minute until we figure it out. Yeah, my mistake. Shouldn't have twisted them together. Those 2 needed to be separate. That was my fault. I'm an idiot. I'm looking in the tire well here. There's the starter. These are the 2 wires. This one's purple, but not the starter. This one, I think, is our starter. So we will jump that one, and that can be our starter switch.
That sounds horrible.
Hey, it did something. That sounds great. That's a great thing. So now coil?
Well, let's figure out where your coil power is.
Well, I think it was...
It was one of those. Well, we just cut this loom back here.
Yeah.
Separate them out and see which one.
So none of those are important.
You always put them back.
Yeah, they just painted everything. Goodbye. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
We're actually doing professional stuff. You say when you're ready.
I got it on.
It's already on.
Alright, turn it off. There it is.
Popping the cap. They didn't want any water in there, obviously. I heard it was a hunting rig, so that makes sense if you're gonna submerge it. Does have points. Rotor looks good. Good thing, because you can't get one right now. 2 days out. Got a cap. It's probably the wrong one. Dalton donated one of his extra coils laying around because I failed to pick one up this morning like an idiot. They got so hung up at the store over what it was and that they didn't have this and they didn't have that that I just forgot. That's all it is. You don't need to go over there. You go over here.
I'll get you some fine plug wires out of my trash can here. There we go. Only the best. And just like every single one of these, you sand the points and you'll have spark.
Yeah. Wow, I can smell that horrible gas. I even looked in the tank.
Alright, they're clean, they're gapped. Perfection.
Perfection.
Alright, keys on. And if you open and shut the points, you should have sparkies. Yep. Well, you're grounding around it, but
They're starting.
try twisting the rotor, see if it works on it. So.
Well, with the points pointing a little better than they were, now we're working on spark plug wires, and these are obviously not going to work. The ends are fine, but the rest is not. And this cap was full of all kinds of larvae from some insect. I'm not sure what it was, but I've knocked those clean and kind of cleaned them up a little bit. They may or may not work. We don't know.
I got the DIY coil wire kit. I have half of a coil wire, stripped it back, and then I'll just crimp this onto there and shove it in the coil, and it'll be fine.
Pontiac parts in an international Ford. Perfect.
That's horrific.
You're going to hold it?
Yeah.
I heard something. Are they not sparking now?
No, the points are sparking.
Okay. Oh, there it was.
There it went. But it is functioning.
Yep.
There we go. Good job. Okay.
Well, it now sparks. Now we need to figure out how to get it from there out to all the spark plugs, which we assume are just fine. I'm not even going to look at them.
Hey, if you touch that, just make sure it doesn't go across your body, okay?
Okay. You don't know CPR?
Yeah, I do. And we're just going to have to guess which one of these is number one. Sometimes the caps are marked, but this one isn't. It's one of these two right here. If we go with this one, the timing will be more advanced. If we go with that one, it may not run. I bet it's this one. So it's 18436.572, just like any good engine. And it's we're going to be 2 plug wires short. We may have to go on a scavenger hunt.
Okay. Well, if we can't find one in one vehicle, I'm sure there's one in another. Oh, but it's got to be for points. So I went ahead and cut the fuel line coming into the fuel pump, and sure enough, I could smell it after getting the starter to work. It was pumping fuel. So I assume that carburetor's got some gross gas in it. In the meantime, the rest of it is now on the floor because the bucket was too tall to fit under the car. Perfect. But now we won't be pumping any more of that. But God, it smells horrible. All right, are we still connected? Yeah, we're still connected. Are we ready?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Oh.
Hey, yeah.
Excuse me, wiring is in the way. Okay, try that again. Ready?
Yep. Doing anything.
Maybe we're not getting spark?
Let's find out. Oh. These are nice plug wires.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can get it on camera.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, it got you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
metal all the
Yeah.
way. Not
Okay.
the best screwdriver I could have grabbed.
There's another one over here. Okay, so now we know we've got spark. I think we just need to make sure we got enough fuel in it.
I think the valves are sticking. I can feel air blow out of this PCB,
Okay.
like crankcase pressure.
Yep.
You wind it enough, and I don't know. Maybe it'll come around. Maybe it wants the real stuff.
Now, with a lit cigarette, you want to make sure to pour that gasoline at the proper rate. Where's my starter?
Oh yeah, she's good and flooded now. There we go. Yeah. You know, if I had to guess, I would say we're probably pulling the plugs. Just a guess.
Here goes nothing. Are we off, maybe? Well, with masterful effort, Dalton cleared all of the mess out around the spark plug. We're going to see if maybe that spark plug issues might be our problem.
I mean, I've seen it a lot of times where the electrode is just so clogged up with crap that they just won't fire. But, you know, we're not that committed right now to pull all of them, so
One's fine.
We'll just pull one. And
It'll be the one that looks horrible or looks great.
right.
If it looks great, we'll move on.
I don't have anything to point.
So they look good. Well, the one looks good.
Hope you know you're scrubbing that oil off of my floor. Seems that the rats might have eaten it.
Now I found where the mechanical gauge tubing was hooked to the side of the engine here, and of course the tubing was long gone. And so as we were turning it over, it was making a lake of oil underneath the truck, just ruining this floor forever. Can't believe anyone would do that. So with that solved, we know the plugs look good. We just need to figure out why it's not kicking off. So a little more research and we should be back. We know it's got spark. We've tested that. We know the spark plugs look okay.
We know that one spark plug wire works. And we know that one spark plug looks fine.
True.
But we only, I mean, if there's 5 of them that are working, it should run-ish.
Still have any gas in it?
Yeah. That should hit the key. I think it's off.
That would be smart if we did.
I think we just keep trying. See if we get anything out of it. Otherwise we gotta yank all these plugs and do a compression test or something. And that's
That seems
lot.
effort.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
They suck to get to.
Give me some fuel. I can't quite reach.
That's probably good.
Let's make it go.
It's trying.
It is trying.
Give it a little air.
Now.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, here's the deal, guys. This is where some of you are screaming at the computer or your TV or whatever it is you're watching this on, and you're saying, do this, do that. But here's what I'll tell you. In the idea of just trying to get it going, we want to prove that it will fire, and we do have evidence now that it tried to fire. Now, whether that means we're not getting enough spark, we're not getting enough fuel, we're not getting enough air, we don't know. But what we do know is that it will fire and it will pump air all the way out to the exhaust. And the reason why we know is it just blew all that crap out of our exhaust tips. There's a little bit on the driver's side, but a lot passenger side. So we are quickly evicting whatever was living in there out of the exhaust. And once we get it to fire, it's probably going to shoot all the way to the door. And I'll have to clean it up. But I already have enough mess to clean up as it is. We're almost there. Some of you will say, no, you got to take every spark plug out. Well, we've learned how difficult it is just to do one, so we're not doing that. Some of you will say, we got to fill the cylinders full of something. Well, we're not going to do that. Somebody's going to say, you got to pull the distributor, get the oil pump going, and prime everything, get the oil up to where it needs to go. We know it's pumping oil because it was pumping it right under the ground. So that I'm not worried about. So really, there's ways to do it. There's more than one way to do it. And for those of you that want to spend the time to tear it all apart, and then you end up with a half apart engine and you never even know if it's going to run, I commend you guys for having that kind of patience, making that kind of effort. I'm not that guy. We took spark plug wires off of a Pontiac 2+2 that were scrapped. They were being thrown away. We made them work because O'Reilly's didn't have spark plug wires. Spark plugs that were in it, they ran when it parked, so they stayed in it. We plugged our vacuum leaks, put a battery in from the Harvester of Sorrow, and we got a jumper wire for our starter. Oh, and we put a coil in that Dalton had on the shelf. So really, we're very little money into this, and everything that we added, we can, of course, take it back out. So if something's bad and we hear rod knocking or whatever, we can pull those parts out and be done with this. We can repower it later. If it fires up and runs, well, you know we're going to take it for a rip. I mean, we need new tires, but they kind of held air, so maybe they'll hold air again. I don't know. Either way, we're real close. So let's get the other camera set up and we're going to go for it. Go full send, right?
250 amps?
That might be a bit.
Oh, yes. More power! Keep cranking.
Wow. Wow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Where's the crank wire?
It's on the floor. Yep.
God, it stinks so bad. It is burning stuff out of there.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, it's probably clear now. Let's give her some gas.
Gasoline.
Give her the good stuff. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Good. Prepare for fire.
Preparing. The order's right.
The order's right.
But maybe one off?
Oh, that's real close.
When your battery charger dims your lights, now you know.
It's a monster. Ooh, she got warm. But it's spinning it. It
7.
should be 2.
Yep.
It is.
Okay.
All right.
Moved them all in one.
Key.
Key on. Swing shot engaged. Low power. You ready?
Nope.
Gasoline. Give you a little bit. Key on. Yep. And go. That was it. So we were just 2 off, but It runs.
It runs. Didn't even sound bad, actually.
No. See how bad we shot across the floor. Oh, yeah, just slightly more than it was.
That might have been it. All right, well, the fuel pump works. We know that.
Yep.
Want a boat tank?
Yeah, we need a boat tank and some 3/8 and make it happen.
It's been lined.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
There's not like chunks. Oh, is that you scratching it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so maybe it is kind of bad.
It's varnish stuck to the walls of the tank.
So
It's your call, but if it's me, I'm probably running a boat tank. But we put a fuel filter on it, and
I'm kind of down with fuel filter and run it.
looks good so far. You just want me to go ahead and rebuild the carb? Or... There we go. Should be good to go.
It's almost noon.
We'll be driving in 15 minutes. We had tires.
Oh, that's just where I overflowed. It's not pouring out of anywhere.
Okay.
You'd think we like this thing. You hate it now, wait till you drive it. And we're getting close to it.
We're not getting into this thing until you vacuum it out.
Well, and the seats aren't bolted in.
We don't need that. Where do we want that?
Well, how long a line you got?
I only have this much. I have replenished your lost oil. So it's
Thank you. I will clean up the stuff off the floor and put it back in that jug.
it's practically new now, though. I mean, oil change done.
So off camera, I went ahead and put new fuel line back to the fuel pump that I already cut off. In the meantime, Dalton was able to change the oil, the filter, top off all the fluids, greased all the fittings. I got a 21 point on this thing. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's gone. So,
Put gas in it.
oh yeah, we should put gas in it. So we went ahead and put the clicky clack on there, and we're gonna do the old roadkill trick. Hook it to the lights. In theory. Ha-ha! Let's go. Let's go.
Key on.
Keys on. Extra juice. Rebuilding.
The fuel pump has gone turbocharged.
Mm-hmm. Cleaning.
Dude,
Cleaning.
if this backfires, it's going to be real bad.
We're gonna lose the shop. Good thing you got a pad already poured.
It doesn't roll good enough to get outside.
No, we'll get outside. Okay, key on.
All right.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Spark. Oh! She's a runner.
That's good. Little upgrade noise.
Close. Choke it. Yep, that's what it needs. Look for leaks. Oh, we're leaking. Leaking fuel.
Bad?
Right there at your feet.
No. That's pretty bad. What happened?
Apparently so. All right, now that we got the leak fixed, that was my mistake. Key and fuel. Come on, baby. Doesn't need choke.
No way.
Well, despite your better judgment, we're going to go ahead and pull this out so we can work on another project. And whenever the tires show up, we'll deal with that then. But we're going to see if it'll do some rearward motion. Head backwards. Maybe.
Well, even if you get 3, it ought to help.
Yeah, this one will wear up. Just won't stay very long. Okay, we're running out of time.
All right, hop in.
No problem. Oh,
Hey, it rolls.
it's in reverse.
What a piece of
Killed it. We'll get some belts.
belts and tires. You drive this thing.
Uh-huh.
Maybe get a carb kit.
Well, good morning. I'm up. The sun is not out. Getting ready to head to Pole Barn Garage, finish up this project, and then start our next project. But look at what I saw. What is this crap? No, thank you. That's right, I'm headed back to the Red Green store this morning. But I have to just say, this weather is repugnant. For those of us that like smaller words, it's god awful. It's horrible. Who convinced me that I should come to Kansas City in the middle of winter and wrench on vehicles? Wait, who's the one that does it every time? And every time I freeze to death. That's why I moved south, and it's still cold there. He told me bring shorts and flip-flops, and I'm telling you, this is horrible. Sun's coming out though. That's positive. Anyway, back to the Red Green store this morning, going to grab some parts for the FalconStein, because at this point I can't just steal everything from Dalton. I actually have to buy parts. So I'm gonna run in there, get some parts. They won't have anything, so we're gonna get them ordered and hopefully have them here by the time the tires get here. And maybe I'll try to fix that rim before we take it to the tire store, and then they tell me that they can't mount it. But Dalton's got a tire machine, but it won't quite handle these monsters that are on there. So anyway, inside to get some parts and then headed out to Pole Barn Garage. For some reason, the belt didn't hold up to Dalton's revving of the engine. I don't know why. As expected, they didn't have parts on the shelf. Well, we had a few. I'm not gonna say they had nothing. We found a belt that's close. Might work, might not, but we found a belt that was literally on the shelf, so that's perfect. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you some of the things that Dalton's dad found looking closely at the Falcon. There's a reason why it's called the 1964 Falcon, and on the title, that's kind of what it says, but I was thinking that it was a Ranchero, but the guy insisted it was a Falcon, and I got to looking and I could see what he's getting at. So this thing was a Ford Falcon two-door wagon, but I went, it's too good for somebody to have just hacked the back off. Well, they didn't. Dalton's dad found where at the B pillar they cut an old Ranchero and this wagon, and they scabbed them together. And then, if that wasn't enough, they went one step further and they took the Falcon wagon slash Ranchero and slapped it on what seems to be a 1974 International Scout 2 with a 304. And I thought it was a 4-speed. I'm thinking it might be a 3-speed. I haven't gone through all the gears yet. And I know that seems silly, but I just haven't. So I'll dig into that a little more later, but all interesting stuff. Really not horrible scabbed together car. Like, I know people are gonna look at it and say, God, I can't believe this thing is in pieces, but there's a reason why I had this idea to call it FalconStein, because it's literally sewn together with self-tappers and bits of metal and welds, and if this isn't pole barn quality, I don't know what is. So, all right, back to work. I'm back at Pole Barn Garage, and we got stuff to do. Poor FalconStein. That's all right, we're gonna fix it here in a minute. It's super freaking cold out today, but it looks like my vehicle got all the wheels and tires stolen, but really, went to the tire shop because Dalton's machine couldn't handle these big old mudders. Apparently they couldn't either, because this one that had the leak in the rim, they couldn't get it to seat. So we're gonna have to fix this rim probably the wrong way. I'll work on that one after I get all these installed. So we're gonna use a spare for now on that other side on the back. Yes, I don't want to hear about gear ratios and all that. We're just gonna tootle around, see it drive around the yard a little bit, and then we'll get a set of rims to best complement this beast. I had to take this belt off to get this belt on. That's better than it was. With absolutely no sketch factor, we have ourselves a starter. Yep, that works. So remember, we got to turn our lights on to get our fuel to go. It's only 32 degrees.
Yeah, she'll fire.
It'll be fine.
All right, we got some heat in it at least.
Are we ready?
We are ready. I'm just gonna run it on brake clean until she gets some heat.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to feather the throttle, see if it'll take off. Damn it.
Too much. Closer.
Whack the carburetor, Jake. There it goes. Ah, we're close. That fuel pump is not running.
Buff, you got the switch on?
No, it's on.
Now go. Circuits are all plugged in that thing. There's no accelerator pump, so you get it to run, and it will run. It'll pull fuel, but I think the idle circuit's plugged, and well, probably all of it.
Well, I did get a rebuild kit, but I'm running out of time.
Yep. Throw that thing in a bucket of chem tool and let it sit for about 3 days.
Or a week.
A week would be good. But it's running.
It does run. Well, there you have it, guys. It's a 1960-ish Ford Falcon Ranchero FalconStein on an International chassis. But we got it running, we got it driving, and now we need to do a carburetor rebuild. So stay tuned for that. I want to thank Dalton and JD for all their help. Without them, I couldn't have done it in these couple of days that we have. But it's freezing cold and I'm ready to head to warmer weather. So you guys stay tuned. We got more coming and more on FalconStein.